Hi everyone, welcome to another One Big Happy Story Time. I am Miss Laura and I am from the Manville branch.
And I'm Miss Natalie and I'm from the Brazoria branch.
And we are part of the Brazoria County Library System and we are one big happy system. And today we're going to be telling a story about chickens. And that is the ASL sign for chickens. You just put your thumb and your pointer just like that and then put it up by your nose and boop, like a beak. Chicken.
I like it.
Yep, very simple. All right. Now, before we tell the story about chickens, we got to say hello, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, since you are my guest, how would you like to say hello today?
I think we should say hello as silly as we can and as serious as we can.
Nice. I think that we should say hello as fast and as slow as we can.
I like that one. I think we can do that.
Okay, so to do this, we're going to put our here and then up. So tap and clap and tap and clap. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as silly as we can. Hello! Ooh, that was very silly. That felt good. I like it.
I did too.
All right, serious. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as serious as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as fast as we can. Hello! So fast.
That was really fast.
All right, now it's slow. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slow as we can. Hello. Good. All right, but now I think to end it, we should always say hello as nicely as we can.
Absolutely. It's good to be nice.
Absolutely. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as nice as we can. Hello. Very good. All right, now I think we should do an action rhyme.
I think so. I think that'd be fun.
All right, so we're going to start with our hands up high. And it goes, put your hands up high, put your hands down low. Put them in the middle and wiggle like so. Put your elbows in the front, put your elbows in the back. Put them out to the side and go, bark, bark, bark. Good.
Like a chicken.
Exactly, like a chicken. Speaking of chickens, we are going to tell you the story of the chicken in the library.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So one day, a librarian was working at her desk. She was working really hard when she looked up and she saw a chicken standing in front of her desk. And once the chicken noticed that she had the librarian's attention, it puffed up its chest and it said, "Book, book, book." Oh my, thought the librarian. This chicken wants a book. So they went into the stacks and they got some Diary of a Wimpy Kid. They got some Pete the Cat. And they got a book about lizards.
Lizards. I like lizards.
So pretty happy with their choices. The chicken went up to the desk, checked out those books on her library card, tucked them under her wing, and went out the library doors. But you know, not even 2 minutes later, that chicken came back through the library doors, returned the books, walked up to that same desk and to the same librarian and said, "Book, book, book." Oh my, thought the librarian. This chicken is an avid reader. So they went back into the stacks to find some more books. And this time they got some Clifford the Big Red Dog. They got some Goosebumps. Ooh. And they got a magazine about cats. Meow. Exactly. So happy with the choices, they went back up to the desk, checked them out with the library card. Chicken tucked them under her wings and went out the library doors. But you know, not even 2 minutes later, that chicken came back through the library doors, returned the books, walked up to the same desk and to the same librarian and said, "Book, book, book." Whoa, thought the librarian. This chicken is the most voracious reader I have ever met. So the librarian pushed up her sleeves. They went into the stacks, and this time they dug deep. They went big. They got the entire Harry Potter series. Wow. They got a book on how to make friendship bracelets, how to start a business. Wow. They got a book on dolphins. I know. They even got the classics like Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, and Cinderella.
Good choices.
Satisfied with their choices, they went back up to the desk. Chicken checked it out on their library card, tucked them under the wings, put a few in her beak because they had so many, and they walked out the library doors. But this time, the curiosity about this well-read chicken really got to the librarian. So that librarian followed the chicken out the library doors. And they went down the block, up a hill, down a hill, over a bridge, and to the riverbank. When they got there, there was tall grass everywhere, and they got down and they peered through the grass. Do you know what they saw?
What did they see?
There was the chicken with the big stack of books next to her. And she was holding these books like this. She was holding them between her wings and between her beak. And in front of her was a tiny frog. And that frog kept looking at the books. And every time it saw one, it said,
read it, read it, read it.
The frog had already read them. And that is the story of the chicken in the library.
Very good. I really enjoyed that story.
All right. Well, now I think we should do another action rhyme. What do you think?
I think so.
All right. And surprise, surprise, it is about chickens. This one's called 5 eggs and 5 eggs. And we're
Five
gonna
and
go.
five.
Exactly. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go 5 eggs and 5 eggs. That makes 10. Sitting on top is a big mama hen. Crackle, crackle, crackle. What do you see? 10 baby chicks looking at me.
That's a lot of baby chicks.
That's a lot of really cute, fluffy little chicks.
Oh, I love cute and fluffy.
All right, well, that is it for us today. So unfortunately, it is time for us to say goodbye.
Or maybe see you later.
Maybe see you later. But for now, we're going to do Tickle the Clouds, which is our goodbye song. So we're going to put our hands back in the sky. We're going to go, tickle the clouds, tickle your toes, turn around, and tickle your nose. Reach down low, reach up high. Story time is over, so wave goodbye. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next month for another one big happy story time.
Bye.